Hi everybody, welcome back to my garden. So today I thought I would give you an update on the state of my garden. It's been a couple weeks since I've recorded anything and things have changed here a little bit. I'll let you know what I've been doing and let you see how things are progressing. So let's go. So let's start on the east side of the garden. Zucchini plants are doing pretty good. We've already had these 4 plants here, there, and there have been producing zucchini. So we got our first one not that long ago. Before I go any further, I planted this garden on around June 1st, and which is very late. I didn't start anything from seed. I bought a lot of plants. So I didn't start anything from seed ahead of time, I should say. Like, normally I start my seeds in March, but I wasn't able to do that. So these 3 zucchini plants are doing really good. This one has split all of a sudden, which tells me it's got problems. It's got like vine borer problems or something. Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to pull that one out. And the rest of them are doing really good. There's a couple of zucchinis in there. Doing really good. I mean, how many zucchini plants do you really need? Probably 1. On these arches, the first arch has regular cucumbers. They're like the Japanese, I can't remember what they're called. I want to say sashimi, but that's not the right word. Cucumbers. And they're the long, really dark cucumbers. Seedless variety. Not really, but. And then the next 3 of these arches, these are all pickles. I had to replant actually all of the cucumbers. So there's a few plants that are 6 weeks old, these. And I don't know, they look way far behind, because technically in a couple months you should have cucumbers, but these are just really tiny. So I think I need to give them all a blast of water-soluble fertilizer and see what happens. Before I forget, I planted all my strawberries along here. This is how many strawberry plants I had. A lot of these were plants from runners from last year. And then here's my rhubarb. I thought this plant was dead. This rhubarb plant looks like it's coming back. It looks like it has a little wood sorrel friend here. So those survived. I'm very happy to report. So yeah, all this is going to be strawberries. And they're all recovering very nicely from their transplant. Next up is tomatoes. This plant, which is the grape tomato, yellow grape, is the first ripe tomato. It was not very good. But I recently went through and cleaned these up and trellised them all up. So hopefully they'll taste better now that they're up off the ground. So there is one plant that's not going to make it. I'm thinking of pulling this plant. This is Brandywine Pink. So it had a lot of dead leaves on it, and it almost looked like it had blight, but it doesn't have. It just looks really sick. So I'm thinking of pulling it. This, where's the other? This is a Brandywine, I think. So this one next to it, right next to it, is a Brandywine, red Brandywine. And that one is doing just fine. So who knows what the problem is. I can see that on this side. This branch has fallen. Come here, go in there. There. And we'll see how these ones do. They're getting pretty tall though. As they go up, I kind of try to, depending how flexible they are, sometimes they can be coaxed into. I don't want them to rest on those flowers. I'll have to go get some of the tape that I use. I use this Velcro tape. You see that? That's what I use. Because as the plants get older, the stems get thicker, and the tape you can take off and readjust. Whereas with the clips, you can't readjust them. So Miss Juliet here is doing very well. Very well. Yeah. So tomatoes are doing pretty good. Peppers are all very short. And a couple of these plants had a big pepper on them, so I took them off because it doesn't need to be concentrating on growing that pepper. But they're really short. I don't know if it's a variety problem or what it is. So they're only really up to about my knee, with the exception of this one. What is this one? This is a Cajun Bell. That one and that one. Cajun Bell. And they're doing the best at all of them. This one I see needs... He needs a cage around him. So I gotta go do that too. So yeah. Little short peppers. Lots of leaves on them, but they're really short. Okay. Then in this row, beans. They're finally growing, these beans. They've just taken forever. All of a sudden, they're all flowering. Weed. So they're doing really well, finally. We should have beans in a couple weeks. So a lot of the last 2 weeks, I have spent weeding this garden. And I now come in here every day and run the stirrup hoe through the beds or through the areas that are exposed, because the weeds they'll just come right back, you know. And if I do that every day, it kind of keeps them away, and then I can pick the 1 or 2 weeds that are not, like, the stirrup hoe can't get for some reason. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of weeding the last couple weeks. It does not make for exciting YouTube videos, I can tell you that much. Corn. The corn is about, how high are you? Like waist high on me. I'm 5'4". Oops, let's zoom you out. That's better. And what do I want to say about the corn? It's doing fine. We've weeded in between the rows. Of course, I'm in your light. Run the, I was going to say cultivator. So yeah, we've run the cultivator through here. But I have not pulled the weeds in between the plants. So if you look in between the plants, there's a lot of weeds. But, you know, corn's used to being out in a field, and there's not much you can do about it. So, doing pretty good with the corn here. Man down. I see my stork fell over again. These are not storks. These are sandhill cranes. This sand is just not solid enough ground for them to stay up. Onions. These are my onions that I got from Home Depot as plants. They're doing very well. Just starting to bulb. Most of them are still up when the dogs don't run through here. But down here was the red onions here. And I had weeded these, and then it was very difficult for me to weed them because they were so tiny. So I decided to let them go, and I was going to come back in here and weed them again. But they all died, except for these three right here. So these are the red onions. These I got from a nursery. And those are the only three that survived. So I was just gonna weed whack the rest of this down. Potatoes. These are red potatoes. Don't ask me the variety. I've got the name somewhere. They're all very upright. I'm having some fall over, and I don't know why. They weren't over this morning, and then I ran the sprinklers, and now they're all falling over. So I don't know if the tops are just too heavy or what. Since they're all just setting flowers, see that? Setting flowers, they should just be getting going. So I'm just going to leave them alone. You can see the flowers here. I'm just going to leave them alone, and here's some. See what happens. But I don't know why they're all falling down. Look at those beautiful flowers. Carrots. They're disappearing. I don't know what's stealing them. Either rabbits or I don't think it's rabbits. I think it might be mice. Might be stealing them. You could see the holes here. There's holes over there too. I weeded them and they were pretty darn good. They all looked like this. Here, these are carrots. But then you look over here, and there's a big bunch of them that are gone. So I don't know what happened to them. So who knows? This garden isn't completely critter proof. We just basically try to keep the deer out. So we're going to get a lot less carrots than we thought. These are the two determinate tomatoes that I bought. And they're doing really good. Put a cage up around them. Doing really good. And then melons. Watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. Cantaloupe, cantaloupe, honeydew. Back there, honeydew. So, just climbing all over the place. I'm trying to keep them out of my flowers. So every day I come in here and try to redirect them to try to keep them out of the flowers. But they grow like 6 inches a day. It's been so hot here that, yeah, they really grow a lot. So cantaloupe are also growing. I'm finally starting to get some female flowers. I just hope, like here's a watermelon right there. I don't know if that's focusing. There we go. Everybody's got plenty of room, but that's all going to end up being one big patch. So I ended up putting weed cover here in between, like where the potatoes are and the melons, and then like in between the melons, because when I started weeding, I was like, I am not weeding this every couple weeks, you know. And I've done that throughout the garden. Like I did it here, so I don't have to weed that. And I did it over by the zucchini and the pickles over there. So it was so hot here when I was weeding, and I thought, I can't do this anymore. And I decided that I was just going to put down more weed fabric. And I declared to Tim, next year we're going to have weed fabric over the entire garden. So we'll see what happens next year. I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not. We'll see. But weeding has really taken a lot of my time. If I haven't said so recently, this garden is 40 feet by 70 feet. The rows are 40 feet long, each row. And the area that my corn is in is 12 feet by 12 feet. So that's a lot of weeds to pull up. So I'm trying, let's go this way. I'm trying to keep up with it. So now that I'm done with my annuals, I've moved on to the perennials that I brought from my house. Some daisies here. These are from up north by our cottage. That's what those are from. My rose bushes are very happy that they are in the ground. I mean, they were just so miserable, and now there's a whole bunch of new growth on them. So they're very happy to be in the ground. So I've started planting some of these. I love the purple and the yellow together. And then that's kind of where it stopped because it's been so hot. So I have to put all of these in the ground. The roses are in the ground. This stuff, sedum, will survive just about anything. So this corner of the garden doesn't get watered as well. It does get some, but not a lot. But sedum doesn't need a whole lot of water. So they're fine there. So this is where I decided to put my perennials. And see, you got dogs walking through here. What are you doing, Ellie? No, don't chase after the bees. She's smelling the flowers. So what should I do with this patch of ground here? Right here. I mean, I'll leave those 3 onions. I was thinking of either, we're mid-July. We can almost plant cold season. I might just wait and plant lettuce or something like that. Radishes, lettuce. Yeah, I might do that. But this is about, 12 feet almost. Not quite 10 feet. I'm kind of wondering what I should do with this. Maybe get some fast-growing vegetables in there and see what happens. Maybe some leaf lettuce or something. But, yeah, I'm going to have to get all this out of here. So let me know what you would do with a row 2 feet by 10 feet. That's how wide it is. So some of the challenges I'm having here are bugs. Bugs are really bad. The deer flies are really bad. And the mosquitoes are really bad because we have like a swampy area over here along with a pond. And it's not like it's a stream or anything. It's a fairly slow moving pond, enough so that like lily pads are growing on it. So That's one of the big struggles I'm having is the bugs. And you come out here and you douse yourself with bug spray and you're sweating up a storm. Well, plus then I still work, so it's only at night, which is when the bugs are the worst, right? Those are the challenges I'm having. The other challenge I'm having is the sand ground. I did buy some compost. Let me show you. So this under here is compost. You'll have to trust me. 3 yards of cow manure compost. So there's a place outside of town that has all the landscaping materials you need, and compost, potting soils, mulch. These are all the things that they have. So I bought this. It's been too hot for me to get in here and move it, so I want to take it and put it around all the plants, so they've got a good layer of compost, especially around here. I managed to get it on top of the peppers, on top of, did I do the potatoes? I was gonna do the potatoes. On top of the onions, in the carrots, and peppers. I don't know if I said that or not, but I managed to get it on those. I wanna do the tomatoes and the cucumbers, and then as I pull things out, I'm gonna just take the whole bed and cover it with compost. So that will be all set for next year. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to rototill everything up. That's the word I couldn't think of before, rototill. And, but we'll see. We'll see if I can keep Tim out of the garden with his rototiller. Then I think I may not rototill it in the fall. We'll see. So, all right. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below how your garden is doing. I know it's been very hot in the country, so that and rain. We have been getting a lot of rain. We've been getting enough rain, so that's good here. And hopefully next time I'll have a little more progress to show you. So until then, everybody, happy gardening. Bye-bye.